gentlemen, welcome back to the Local Biz Cast. I am your host, Dr. Pete. You guys probably know that by now. My friend and my next guest here, I've known him for a while. You guys are going to all love him by the end of this. There's so many reasons why. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Franco over here, Envisioned. I just learned that, dude.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get to that.
Usually people don't get it at first.
I said Envision3D.
Yeah.
He goes, nah, man, Envisioned.
Envisioned. Yeah, keep it short.
We're going to get into that in just 1 second. Because first things first, as you very well know, I have been told I need to ask. And I'm asking you guys to help us grow this channel. You're definitely going to flood your people with this. Like, hey, by the way, you got to watch me on Dr. Pete's podcast, the Local Biz Cast. Yeah. And then we got to get all these subscribers.
I'm Italian. I got a big family. You know, people just from that, they forget it.
It's Jews and Italians, right? What did Sebastian Maniscalco say? Same company, different division, right? So, let's eat. But we've got to grow it, so I'm asking you guys to go to Spotify and to YouTube and to Apple Podcasts and go to the Local Biz Cast and go into those little parts wherever it is and hit the likes and then go and subscribe. That's how we can best grow this channel. More people will see it. We can help more people. That's what we're doing here at the Local Biz Cast, trying to help people just like Nick over here, right? Anybody who's trying to get on to the Local Biz Cast, we are scheduling out through the end of the year right now. So you can always find me on social media at the Dr. Pete. That's on TikTok and Instagram. I'm at Peter Wohl, boring, on Facebook. Yeah, I was born in the 1900s. I have a Facebook account. Or you can get me at the Spine and Health Center at drpete at shcnj.com. That's the way to get on to the Local BizCast. Spread the word. This is free, ladies and gentlemen. You come on over here. You have a conversation with me. You get people to hear your story, know what you're going through, what it is that you're looking for, what type of services or products that you can provide. And we get it out to the world, and I absolutely love doing it. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Franco.
What's going on?
Envisioned. I mean, literally up until about 4 minutes ago, I was calling that thing Envision3D.
Yeah. Do you know how hard it is to try to start a new business name?
No, I have no idea.
There's a new business. Yeah. Well, you could just add another the town you're in. After,
okay, but I had to come up with that, like everything I wanted. So, for example, with my business, right, my sign or my name is not great because even my best friends from town, right? Ready for this story? And I'm going to give you back your time, I promise you, right?
We got plenty.
My best friends from my town, who we hang out with, like we go out to dinner, like in the middle of the week we hang out, right? That's how close we are.
Yeah.
I found out he hurt his ankle or his shoulder or something like that, and he went to a different physical therapy place. And I'm like, dude, what? You're going to it? He goes, well, I thought you guys were just spines.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So you know how important a name is, right?
Yeah,
so it took me a while to build this brand, and now, thank goodness, I mean, people know what we have, but in the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I started in is in college learning about, logo designs and branding and all that kind of stuff like that. And it's important. But, again, you have a good logo. You go by SHC, not just Spine Health Center. So, it's good. There's ways around it. Use that name. That's your legal LLC name. But you can go by a logo or an image or even a color scheme. And, everybody knows McDonald's. Like, you see red and gold.
You did McDonald's?
Nah. No, red and gold. It's just, you don't have to say
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Franco is the one who designed McDonald's, Coca-Cola, FedEx, UPS. He's done them all, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we have to say. No, I am just kidding. That was a lie. I am fabricating these truths. You're way too old to have done those.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. He's way too young. He's just, come on.
I don't even think that was an idea at that point when that stuff came out.
I mean, McDonald's is, how old is McDonald's? Like, I'd be like 80 years old, right? Did you see that movie?
Oh, The Founder?
Yeah.
I love it. I recommend it to anybody who starts a business.
I mean, I don't know how factually true it is, but good enough for me.
Yeah, entertaining enough. And,
absolutely.
And just the business mind of it is a really good story, and everyone can relate to it. I thought it was a great movie. Stuff like that I like to watch. But yeah, no, and getting back into name and branding, it's very difficult in New York when you start an LLC. Like, you have a database and you can look up.
Sure.
And I'm like, everything's taken. How am I going to do this?
You have to put a "the" in the front of it, or like a weird, I remember going through this, and I'm glad that we have this conversation. Man, these are the ones that I really like, because it's not just talking about your business, because there's entrepreneurs out there, there's young people who are trying to start businesses. This is so much important information. This is such good pearls of knowledge. Like, you got to find a name. You got to find a name that people don't have.
Yep.
But yet also that kind of expresses what it is that you're trying to do, and a reflection of you.
Yeah.
And so
I'll tell you a funny story about that. So there's a database in New York, but you don't have to coincide with the one in New Jersey. And where I am in New York is right over the border.
we're in the same boat.
So I started the business, made an Instagram, got a name. I was all excited about it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, someone's like, "Hey, is this you?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, this guy in New Jersey," which is kind of a niche market, has the same exact name as me. And obviously I'm not going to try to compete with that. Like, he started before me, so I had to go change my name, do all the rebranding and everything like that. I got business cards and everything. So these are little hurdles when I started a business. I was like, maybe this is a bad idea. Like, I'm already, a couple months into it, and I already have to make a new name and start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Then you need to publicize and do all that stuff like that legally. And these are things that nobody taught me. You kind of just learn by
That's
and
it.
Be careful.
Trial by fire, brother.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
100%. Yeah.
But you learned, and that's what it. And it's the funny thing is, people will go after you,
Yes.
right? I mean, they're trying to control and protect their brands and everything like that. And this guy, exactly the same name.
Yeah. And
Doing
he
the
didn't
exact
even
same
know.
business.
Yeah, exact same business. A
But
little
he-
bit different, but
Right,
again.
right. But he probably Googled himself one time, and then you came up.
Yeah.
He goes, "What is this?"
Yeah.
Right?
Well, actually, luckily, it was in the beginning. I had no clients, none of that
Right.
stuff like that, and I caught it. So I didn't have to worry into that. But I was like, should I call this guy and say, "Hey, is this a problem? Maybe we'll work together." But then I was like, you know what? Too much confusion already, you know? So before anything got too big, I
did the right
I
thing.
changed it, and that's where I came up with the name Envisioned.
That's amazing. Because let me tell you, I know people who have gotten involved. They were down road and got sued
Yeah.
for copyright protection, trademark protection, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's you did the right thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
listen,
think
it's one small hurdle that you have to do, but I find you just make the next right move.
Yeah.
Just you have a fork in the road, and you can make a mistake. You do something that you didn't know was a mistake, and all you have to do is make the next right move.
Yeah.
And you will start kind of getting yourself into the right position. So
Yeah, I'd like to think so, yeah. I mean, and we were talking about it before. There's always hurdles every day, small, big, and it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you in business, and that's just part of it.
But you did not start with Envision, man. That's
didn't.
not when I met you,
Yeah.
right? So
no, I was in the union. I had a good union job, and after X amount of years of working and midnights and off hours, I kind of was like, when is
you
this?
were my guy.
Yeah,
you
when
were
is
my
this gonna
midnight
stop?
shift.
I
Yeah.
know. I was like, hey, I wake up at 10. You have an availability at 10.
Right.
All these weird hours and stuff like that. But after a while, I was just like, kind of sick of it. And
And it's not what you went to school for.
No, I'm very hands-on. I'm a very busybody. I like to build things, do things. So I got into the local union for operating engineers, and I'm working on chillers, generators, big equipment, and once again, it's 24 hours. So during COVID, which is a lot, like I listen to all your podcasts, a lot of people start during COVID or change their business during COVID, and I'm sitting in this windowless room for 24 hours straight working shifts, and everyone's sitting at home. And while obviously COVID sucked for everybody, I was like, I got to figure out a way that I can work from home. God forbid this happens again.
Yeah.
And I was working every day. I didn't get that 2-hour break that people got to work from home. So I was like, let me see what I can do. And then, I kind of combined knowing the construction end of the world with my formal education, which was graphic design, and how I came up with, doing 3D renderings of people's backyards and, blueprints and stuff like that for what people need. Because myself included, you're out there, you're going to get a quote from a guy to do a paver patio, and you don't know how big it's going to be, what it's going to look like, how much material you're going to need, and you're going to spend tens of thousands of dollars, and then just hope it comes good.
Right. You're not going to have any idea
Yeah.
what the final product is supposed to look like here, right?
Yeah. So in a combination of that, like, it's funny, I was getting a paver patio done, and there was a little bit of a language barrier about the square footage and the dimensions, and I was like, let me see if I can do this digitally so that he has exact dimensions to work off of. And then it went from there to now designing $1 million backyards and pools and stuff like that, which I love. I enjoy. I really like to, put my artistic interpretation on the
Where the
backyard.
heck were you yesterday?
What do you mean?
I was not for a landscape, but I had to make a closet. I had to build out a closet. Like, were we doing a closet and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I'm literally on Microsoft Word using arrows and boxes I'm creating this thing.
You knew I was coming on.
I didn't know you had any, like, I didn't know. I knew you did landscape design.
Yeah, but
You want to redo it tonight? I'll show you guys. It's connected to my phone. What I came up with yesterday. You guys are all gonna laugh.
But that's
we,
funny, though.
We all have our own strong points.
But
right?
you need a comprehensive plan, right? You need something like that to work off of.
That's the way I work. I need to see.
100%.
I need to see. Some people can kind of envision it in their imagination and everything like that.
Yeah.
No, and you provide that.
Well, for the people that can is why I'm in business. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. You know, how big is this? How much space is this pool going to take up in my backyard? And while everybody might have this grand idea, there's restrictions with your town and stuff that you have to stay within certain parameters. So coming up with a good plan on what's legally allowed in your town,
coverage issues and this and that. Yep, sure.
Yeah, heights for retaining walls and square footage that you're allowed, and staying not far from your property line, like things like that.
How much soil you can move potentially, right?
It gets really involved, and that's something that someone's like, hey, I want a pool. I just want to pay for it. Like, you need a design. And while I work directly with a lot of contractors, and I like to work directly with homeowners.
Direct D2C, man, directly to consumer. Yeah, right.
It's a passion thing. People are really excited. I mean, I do a lot of pools, and for someone to finally get to the point in their life where they can get a pool built is just like it's a huge thing. So, it's exciting for me. I like what I do. Yeah.
Very, very cool. I mean, there had to have been something. It was just your patio that you did, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do this. Like, come on, man.
I mean, just like any other business, someone else is doing it somewhere, right? But it is a very small niche market, and you need to have a very powerful computer. You need to have somewhat of a design background, as well as knowing construction. And now they have programs that you can use, but I use a combination of a couple of them so that I can provide not only like blueprints for your township and everything, like what the contractors need, but also give you a 3D rendering so you can see it yourself.
It's almost like a freaking picture. It's like you're making art.
Exactly. And nobody sees the value in the one-line drawing, but the contractors need that.
Absolutely.
They also need all the calculations, right? Everything is calculated automatically. And there's, like I said, there's other people that do it, but it's just such a small market that I found an opportunity. And I kind of just went off on my own. I got sick of the midnights, but I was doubling down for a while. Working midnights.
You got to do your thing, man. Yeah. Hustle and grind. I'm still doing it, man. Look at this. All the hair is gone. Wait, dude. You'll be there.
On, don't tell me that.
God, because this thing is going to be so super successful. I mean, talk to me. When did you start this?
So it was
COVID born.
Yeah, pretty much peak COVID. I didn't start taking it full time till, less than a year ago, really. But, luckily, after COVID and the prices kind of went down, more people got money for the pools, and a lot of people finally got houses, which people waited for a long time. So business got good enough that I was able to just go on my own.
Amazing.
And I really value my time, right? So working midnights for 7-8 years, you kind of just like, this is no way to live, right? And then while you can make your own schedule as a business owner, as you're always working. So it's a little bit weird, right?
Yeah.
So some days during the day, it's pretty quiet. No contractors are calling me. I have no last minute stuff to do. And then it's 3:00 in the morning. I get a call. They're loading up the material. Like, how many square feet of coping do we need? And
right.
God.
At the warehouse. Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, while you can make your own schedule, you're always working, but that's fine. I'm doing
what it takes, man. Yeah. And what it takes, right? I mean, we have core values here, but service above everything else. And that's what service is. You're there and you're available. You're building your business, and eventually, as it grows more and you're bringing on people and all that kind of stuff, you're still going to provide that type of service, just like you, the owner, wants it over there and stuff like that. Yeah, you keep on saying pools, but I'm assuming it's more than just pools, right?
Yeah.
I mean, tell me what are some of the things that you do?
Oh man, so it started really with pools because that is required. You need a design when you get a pool.
Yeah.
But if someone's getting a pool, they want to know how much patio space is enough to fit a lounge chair on that side and all that, other stuff. So then we get into outdoor kitchens, pavilions.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, keep going.
We do the planting too.
Landscape design too.
Yeah. So
you're doing renderings of all that kind of stuff.
Renderings of all.
I'm assuming it's going to look better than this.
Honestly, it's
bush.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there is a little bit of a bush in the middle of the street.
That's in the middle of the street. Hey, you could thank ChatGPT for that. It was a very early adoption Chat 3.0.
Well, when it first came out. This is a perfect example, right?
Yeah.
Anyone can go on to ChatGPT. Hey, design my backyard, put a pool back there, right?
Yeah.
But they're not going to know what your township requirements are, and
Right.
that kind of gets into the engineering background and understanding the code, and kind of understanding workarounds too. So, but yeah, perfect example. It looks
ChatGPT,
It
don't worry.
looks a little cartoonish when I
Hey,
do the
listen,
renderings.
guys. We are at about 130 subscribers or something like that. You get me to 250 subscribers, I'm gonna have a professional do some of the
No,
graphic
not
art
that.
on
I
this
mean,
of it.
even my stuff, like even the renderings, like
Oh.
you have to understand, it looks like it's a good way to get an idea of what's going on, but nowhere is it going to look exactly the same.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
I've seen. Right, I haven't seen yours, and I'm really
Yeah.
excited to see yours. But like, I've seen, it's like freaking amazing, though.
Yeah, no,
Like,
it
it
looks
really is
good.
freaking cool.
And we've gotten down to the point where I'm able to. The exact material you want. If you want like a local marble company's countertops, like I can put that in there, and it's a good representation of what it's going to look like. Certain brands have certain style pavers, and they want to see that color combination against their house, or even if you're going to change the color of your house, like. Oh, I'm thinking about after I do the pool residing my house.
You can render
Want
that.
to see what it looks like? No problem.
Oh my
It
God.
kind of helps with stuff like that.
Kind of helps. This is amazing, dude.
Yeah,
What
no,
are you
it's
talking about? Come on, somebody be proud of Nick besides me, please. I mean,
My
this is
mom.
freaking
My
cool.
mom's proud of me.
Just mom. That's they have to be. They're obligated.
Yeah,
so.
100%.
No, this is so cool. And what other capacity could you use? What Envisioned has to offer? Is it usually all just like kind of landscape design, as you said, from pools, land, and all that kind of stuff, or like you actually just said it, like the house. What about interior? Could you do interior too?
I could do interior. I kind of
Have you done it yet?
I've done a little bit of it, but there's a lot more to interior decorating.
Yes.
I'm more into like the engineering aspect of the layout of
Got
the
it.
backyard, making
Okay.
sure the flow is good. So like when it comes to decorating, and like women are great at it. We're gonna put a book with a candle on top of it, and a
You have
drape
no
over
idea.
here.
That's not your thing.
That's not my thing.
No, but if they tell you to put a book with a candle on it,
100%,
then you're there.
I'll do it.
I just want to see what it looks like. I know I want a book and a candle. Nick, can you make it happen?
Yeah.
Here's what a book and a candle is going to look like.
I can do it. I
You
can
heard it
figure
here
out.
first.
Yeah.
I just expand. You know what? I'm his new partner. I just expanded the business. I'll go out there and just start doing some sales calls. I got this, dude. I mean, I'm loving where you're going right now. I think
Yeah.
it's super exciting and everything like that. So, where do you work? You work in, obviously you're in New York, but you're right on the border. Do you do?
A lot of my clients are in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Upper Saddle River,
Mhm.
Teaneck, all these towns in New Jersey. A lot of the big contractors I work for and the pool companies that build the pools are in New Jersey. Again, different codes for New York, New Jersey, but all of which,
Yeah,
stuff I
different
have to-
codes in every town.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
100%. But yeah, a lot of it is in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why I'm on New Jersey
The local.
podcast.
Hey, it's Local Biz Cast, man. I'm from Rockland County. I'm a New Yorker, so we've had a couple of Spring Valley guys over here. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
all right.
we share- we
We'll pull
share.
up some Pearl River and all that. I'm just kidding over there. So, yeah, you said I was going to go into your challenges and lessons learned because I love that portion of it, but you already kind of hit onto it with regards to like, there's not really off hours, right?
No.
As you said, you can have an easier time. You get to go out, take a walk, and go food shopping, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. But then you're on your computer and you're working until 3 o'clock in the morning. You're answering a phone call, this, that, the
Yeah,
other
if you
thing.
have
But-
to.
But
Well,
that's, yeah.
But working from home is, such a value that I feel like people are taking for granted because I did the off shift for so many. I was able to like wake up at 9 a.m. on a Monday one morning and like go get a haircut.
Yeah.
Right. If you have to be at work, you can never do that.
Correct.
Or otherwise you're going on a Saturday and Sunday. So like
When everybody else is
yeah,
going.
it's worth every, just having your own business, being able to work from home. And listen, I go to job sites a lot, but it's on my schedule. I
Right.
want to see what's going on. I want to make sure everything's going correctly. But that's ultimately what I wanted, and I got it, right? So it's being able to utilize your time at home, right? Everyone's like saving for retirement. Like I'm young now. I mean, listen, I see you a lot because I'm always hurting myself.
Well,
but
you're not the only one, trust me.
yeah, but I want to be able to live now, right? I want to be able to do the things I want to do now while I'm able-bodied and I'm having fun. I got no kids.
You're
like
talking
this
so
is-
eloquently right now. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. I had this really is an older French gentleman. He was married to a Dominican girl who was working for me. He was a lot older than her, and he always used to tell me, he goes, "You Americans, why do you have it so wrong?" And he had this, French accent. He goes, "You guys, you work your butts off. You're doing 12-hour days, 15-hour days, and you're 7 days a week. Da, 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 and you want to make money, right?
Yeah.
So what? What are you gonna do with it? Well, so what? You could wait till retirement so that you can't even walk, you can't move, you may not have the capacity, you might not be able-bodied."
Yeah.
He goes, "Enjoy your life now."
Yeah.
So it's a great mentality to have. But listen,
Yeah, it sounds cliche, but
there's got to be
life's short.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to be responsible though, obviously, right? And you're
100%.
trying to grow a business here, and that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about like almost type work hard, play hard.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
So-
being able to do things.
I love the philosophy. All right, so you are looking now, right? So you've got, well, you could probably always use more contractors, right?
Yeah,
More pool
without a doubt.
contractors, landscape design contractors, this, that, the other thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But on this podcast, you want to let people know. He wants to come right to you guys, direct to the
Yeah,
consumer.
yeah, enjoy it.
You can find him directly. So, I mean, that's very, very cool. Where do
Yeah.
they find you? Where do you go?
So I have the Instagram, I have all that stuff. So it's Envisioned, but it's Nvision 3D.
All right. So I told you I had a little teaser before, right? Because like now it's not a little bit more than 4 minutes ago. But 2 minutes before the thing, I'm like, okay, so Envisioned. I'm like, Envision3D. He goes, no, Envisioned. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So tell me about this.
So once again, it was very difficult to start a business name. So my whole thing is how the business helps you envision your backyard. So I wanted to use something with that. And then also I do the 3D rendering. So instead of it being an Envision, well, I'm spelling it wrong. I'm spelling it my way. N for N, my first name.
Yeah.
N, vision, and then 3D is like the ED, but the
3 is
E
a backwards
E.
E.
Is backwards. Yeah, exactly. So I came up with Envisioned, and then
brilliant.
that's just kind of how it goes.
I love Clever. Clever is my favorite thing when it comes down to like whether it's a movie name or a meme or a comedian or business.
Yeah.
Clever is great. That is clever. That is very, very clever.
Thank
I
you,
like
yeah.
that a lot.
A
When
lot
it
of
has, it's like a double entendre.
Yeah, kind of. I
I
mean,
mean,
again,
I've heard that word a million times. I have no idea what the hell that means. That phrase, double entendre.
people get it mixed up sometimes, but for me, it's just, again, it keeps me standing out from anyone. And
Absolutely.
if anyone uses the word envision, they spell it with an E first. And, it does have a play on words in regards to you're envisioning it, but it's spelled differently. And then I was talking about, the logo.
Logo,
as well.
man.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's get. Can we get in over there?
Yeah, maybe. Well, anyway, in
Oh,
short,
it's on you. Oh, yeah. Let's get in there. Camera 3. What is
this
it?
goes
Camera
back
3?
to the creativity aspect of what I
Right.
went to school for and doing stuff like that.
Come on, we're coming in on this, guys. Come on, take a look at this thing.
We're zooming in. Which way you want me to go?
Wrong way. You stay there. You stay there.
Wow, look at this.
I took 1 week off, and I'm already like I'm losing my skills here.
Yeah,
there we go,
some
ladies and
high-tech
gentlemen.
stuff.
Look at that. All right, explain that to me while we're
Yeah,
on
so
you.
it looks pretty simple, right? It looks like trees.
Right.
But the whole point was it's a mouse cursor, right?
Mouse cursor.
Yeah, 2 mouse
I
cursors
see
making
it
a tree.
now. I thought they
Yeah.
were evergreen trees.
Yeah.
No, it's a mouse cursor.
So there you go. So stupid stuff like that.
That's not
is,
stupid,
helps,
man.
But also, I don't want to cut myself short and just do landscape design. I do logo design. I do all that kind of stuff like that. So I dabble with anything, We're entrepreneurs. We do a little bit of everything.
100%.
I'm very good digitally on the computer. So if someone needs something, and I deal with a lot of people who own their own businesses. These are the people that have millions of dollars to put into renovating their house, and you never know where they're going to take you. You get really good connections when you have a good relationship with a customer. They really enjoy the backyard that you built for them, and then you just like we do. You were my doctor. You were just on my back. Look, we're just having a conversation. You never know where it's going to take you.
I had no idea you were doing this. That's why it was great to put you on the podcast. But you're so right. And by the way, your personality is fantastic. In case you can't hear it through the mic and see it on camera, like he's just a absolutely gem of a person, salt of the earth, great. Which is why we got connected. I love good people, and my friends, for example, like same thing. Like you did a project for me, I'll be like, oh my god, Nick did this. Like you have to use him. You're that type of person where I know if I'm going to refer you, there's never a possibility of you disappointing.
Never.
It's either gonna work or not work, but it's not gonna be like, oh, I hated that dude. He did a bad job. I know that for a fact.
And
so
again, it's local. I'd like to stay local, and again, these people, and it's word of mouth. Like I don't do any advertising. This is like the only type of advertising I'm doing is getting.
You're gonna
out there.
blow up, dude. The Local Biz Cast. By the way, you better make sure when you call him up, you say, hey, I heard you on the Local Biz Cast. You better
shout it
hook
out.
Pete up.
Shout it out. I'll give you a good price.
There you
if you drop Local BizCast,
There we go.
I'll
There we
give you
go.
a good
So-
price. But exactly, you want to, these people are your neighbors and your friends, and again, you don't know who's going to refer who. So that's the biggest point is you just want to make sure, there's going to be complications in every project. It's a big job to renovate a backyard and to do pools and pavilions and all that stuff like that. And there's hiccups in the road.
Sure.
But the point in getting a design and a comprehensive plan is that it's try to avoid those, but it's still going to happen. The town's going to give you a hard time.
Sure.
That you're going to have to go for variances and stuff like that. But that's why I'm here
But
to
there's
help.
not too many design people who have your engineering background.
No.
Like you're setting yourself apart from everybody else who's in this game.
And it's a big thing because people can design, or AI can design a beautiful backyard. Once again, it's not buildable, right? They don't
Right.
know that you can't have more than a 4-foot wall without a structural engineer signing off on it. And again, we talked about coverages and stuff like that, but you need to know what's possible.
Right. And there's not too many graphic design people who have the engineering background. There's not too many engineers who have the graphic design background.
Yeah, 100%.
So, I mean, the fact you're putting this is what I love about business, man. You're taking two things that don't seem connected by any means, and you're able to not only connect, but it's gonna be tremendous, man. I'm so excited for you. Now that you're on this thing full time too, you're gonna see this thing like a rocket ship.
Yeah, I hope
so.
But
dude, I'm telling you, man. Nick Franco over here, Envisioned. We're not done yet. You still got 5. I still owe you a couple minutes too. So, but the type of customers you're looking for. Anybody who's looking to build a pool, renovate a pool.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
pools are
what's your favorite thing to do? What was the best project you've done so far?
Oh,
actually?
Man. So a couple cool things. So when you're doing a pool, a lot of people think that it's like a fiberglass pool that you're just putting in your backyard. Like, we custom make gunite pools for specific uses. So, people who are handicap accessible, right? Like, they have the wheelchair entrances to pools so they can get their feet wet. There's sun shelves and like stuff where you could just lay, kind of get your butt wet in the water. What kind of dog do you have? Does he like to hang out on the sun shelf? Is it Rottweiler or is it Chihuahua? You want to make sure that they have not enough water, to
right,
go in
not drowning, right?
And then the coolest project I work on was actually a local guy in New Jersey, and he was an underwater photographer. So we designed his pool. It's his studio. He does portraits underwater, and his pool is his studio.
Does it have to be like a narrow 10-foot deep type of thing so he can get down on it? What is?
So it was like a 10-foot deep pool. It made sure he had like a 12-foot at least wide of just a blank wall canvas. Then he had to be able to go so many.
My mouth is open right now. I hope you guys can't see that. I'm like, oh, this is cool, man.
So it's very specific to your wants and needs,
right.
And things that you want, like spas, hot tubs, how tall you are. Like, some basketball players are very tall. They need a deeper pool, and we're customizing the depths, the steps, everything that are inside the pool, the shape, to make sure it fits within your
And
backyard.
pool contractors could do this no problem. With your stuff, it's like now they've opened up their horizon. You've been able to open them up now.
Yeah, gunite pools,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep.
The concrete free-form structures, everything like that. We make sure it's accommodating for what the people need. And then, so not only is it pools, but when you're looking for something specific like that, or you're looking for something to stand out, fire bowls that light up next to the pool, and spillover spas and infinity edges, like, these things need, comprehensive plans. You need to know how many pumps are going to operate that. And these are all things that, one person needs to know, because you can get surprised by a massive price tag.
Oh, yeah.
This is what I want. You don't know where you're getting.
You had no idea.
Yeah.
You had no idea.
Yeah. And the big thing too, auto pool covers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a hard one, but they have these freeform shapes. They come from the ground now. It's unbelievable.
I've seen that where the freaking ground drops down. You're doing stuff like that?
Well, I mean,
you would?
I definitely make sure that within the company's parameters of what they're building, that we can accommodate that and everything like that, but they would have to come out and do like a specific design for that. But
yes.
Again, you got a pool, a cover coming from the ground. There's a lot of engineering behind that, and how much power you need to run to it.
Sure.
Plumbing, all that stuff, and all that routing of the plumbing needs to be done.
Absolutely. You're talking about if you have a heater, it's going to be gas. You got to run the gas lines. You've got, as you said, pumps, the lights, the pool lights with enough lighting, all that kind of stuff. Oh, dude, you got something going on right now, man.
Yeah. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. But I like I said, I enjoy working with customers directly, because we can get exactly what they want, and then they can go out for bids for contractors and say, hey, this person was charging me more for this, and this is the price per square foot on this, and then break it up in stages. If they can't do it right away, you have a plan. Say, hey, I'm going to do the pool and the patio this year. I'm going to do the pavilion next year. And then, you kind of see the project growing, and it could take 3 years. I mean, there's some clients that finally got approved for their backyard. Like, some people have a situation where they only have a side yard, right? And they have to go through all these, like,
variances, right?
And it's 2 years later, and you get a picture of the guy's pool done, and his kids swimming in it, and they're having a great time. You're like, wow, like, that started with just a phone call, and it's like, hey, can we make this work? And then he subbed out contractors, and now he's got a really nice pool in his backyard. So,
man, oh man, you got this, man. I'm telling you, people are going to be out there. They didn't even know they needed you, but you go first. It makes sense, and then you go and you bid out, and you're coming with the engineering background, so you're almost now going to be almost a liaison for anybody who hires you. because they'll be like, yeah, I got quoted this or that. I'm like, ooh, that doesn't sound right.
100%. Yeah, I've seen enough of how much things cost to know if you're getting robbed or not. But you know what? Things are expensive nowadays. It is what it is. But have a good plan. Start with a good plan. And then break it up into stages if you need to.
I love that idea too. That's what, my wife and I always say, Kelly, we want the whole thing done. We could break it up into pieces, but the best thing to do is to have the entire project, and then when you go with the contractor, be like, okay, yeah, we could do this in phases. Like, you got to do this and this together. As you said, you're going to do the pool and the patio together, but you could do the pergola, the pavilion next. You could do the fire pit and another down the road. You could do.
And if you know if it's all going to fit in the beginning, you know it's going to work later down
and
the road.
You know exactly what it's going to look like.
Exactly.
That's what Envisioned is all about.
100%.
All right, so wait, where do they find you? What's the best place to find you?
Envision3D is my Instagram. That's probably the best way. It's a good portfolio of some of my work. That's
Nvision 3D
Studio, and then
Studio.
You can email me or at contact@Envision3D. Go to my website. But I know you're going to shout it out.
We're going to shout it out, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes out. That is it.
Click on the link that he provides.
Nick Franco, New York, New Jersey. You got to find him. This guy's freaking great, dude. Dude, I love you. I've always amazing, man. I'm so happy that you came on here.
Thank you for having me.
And I wish
awesome.
nothing but the best for you. I know you're going to do absolutely amazing.
Thank you so
And
much.
I'm going to have to start referring you right off the bat.
Awesome.
All right, baby. That is it for this Local Biz Cast. On our next episode, we're going to have Next Level Camps, New Jersey, coming over here. You heard that, right? Next Level Camps, New Jersey is on our next podcast. As always, please, ladies and gentlemen, again, if you're enjoying what we're doing here, we're trying to grow this show. We're trying to grow the community here for local business owners, entrepreneurs, influencers. Whether you're just getting started, whether you have ideas, let's bring them on. Let's go. Get in touch with me. We'd love to have you on. Once again, a thank you to Nick Franco. Excuse me. Got it again. Nick Franco from Envisioned Studios. I'm really excited for you, man. Congratulations on opening up the new business.
Like and subscribe, Local Biz Cast, helping people out like me, getting the word out. And again, just thank you for doing this. This is awesome.
My pleasure, dude. Next time, we'll see you guys. Take care.